Boundaries when dating. This is a topic that can be really confusing because oftentimes people want to leave boundaries really open at the beginning. Oh my gosh, look at these alfalfa hairs. At the beginning of dating somebody because they want to be available. They want to be available for connection so that clarity can come of how the connection feels or how it can grow. And so oftentimes boundaries become just really permeable at the beginning. And I'm here to tell you it's really important to find discernment and still have boundaries at the beginning of dating a potential partner. And this is why. If you have boundaries, it shows and illuminates for this other person that you know who you are, you know what you need, you know what you desire, and you have a clear distinguishing line between where you are and where they begin. And when that becomes really watery, it shows that you have an anxious, likely more anxious attachment style, or that you're trying to attempt to gain validation through leaving everything really open and flexible with that person. And while, yes, it's valid, everybody wants to feel desired, it communicates really deep security when you can communicate to this potential partner how you want to engage. How do you want to engage in this relationship? And so these are really important questions to start asking at the beginning phases of dating of what is your sense of individuality? Like, what makes you fired up? What gives you life? How do you experience that within relationship? How do you continue to prioritize that in relationship? And when you can start to get to know somebody's sense of individuality, you can empower that person to maintain that sense of individuality versus feeling like they're going to lose it. So oftentimes, and a lot of men specifically that I work with on dating tactics, dating strategy, they have this fear of loss of freedom. And honestly, actually, now that I say that, a lot of women also experience this of feeling like they're going to lose themselves within the relationship and not wanting to lose themselves. And so if you can enter into dating in the initial phases of dating, emphasizing that you don't want to take that away, that actually that is beautiful, that is something that you desire, that to be able to maintain this sense of individual freedom. And wow, that obviously means still honoring the relationship, but like what makes you light up, please do that versus I want all of you. Because the I want all of you or the total avoidance, a lack of communication, really standoffish, not clear on reassuring, like there's still a desire to reassure this potential partner of your interest, of the momentum, especially at the initial phases of dating. Desire is so beautiful, and to allow desire to be there. Like, allow yourself to be excited, allow yourself to communicate that desire. It's okay to be in the honeymoon phase. You don't have to act all cool, okay? Like, allow yourself that gift, but communicate the sense of what you need, what you want, and that can be communicated through boundary. Because otherwise, if you're not communicating boundaries, your energy becomes really leaky, and either you are leaking, hoping to find more sense of clarity or reassurance from somebody where you are becoming available all the time, you're always texting, always calling, always wanting to know more, or constantly, honestly, even always thinking about that person in this overthinking rumination of, could I said something different? Did I ask that too early? That's leaky energy versus, no, I know what I want. I know that I deserve that. Or there's this sense of boundary that's too rigid, where you're not actually letting somebody in. You're guarding your heart. You're not communicating. You're not being open about your desires, not being open about who you are. You're not being vulnerable. That is felt energetically, and if you're not allowing the openness to be there, that's too rigid of a boundary where you're actually not going to grow beyond that. And so boundaries are meant to be, I always imagine it like a circle, and there's a lot of different openings in that circle. It's not completely open, it's not completely closed, but there's like dashed lines so that you can give and receive in those openings. But then those lines that are more walled are this sense of self, so that your energy is bouncing back to yourself, and it's not all just given, and it's not all just taken for self. And so boundaries are really beautiful and important. It is going to communicate and magnetize in really securely attached other humans. And so if you want to dive into dating strategy deeper with me, I have a program. It's a 6-month program called the Dating Audit, or share this content in the Secure Effect with somebody around you. The Secure Effect, again, is really here to provide an accessible, only $7 a month option from a trained therapist, trained couples therapist, as trained relational specialist, because our relationships are everything in our lives. They are the foundation for everything. And if you are single and dating, you deserve to find aligned partnership, and not even find it, attract it. And that comes from having boundaries, knowing who you are, knowing what you deserve, and magnetizing that in with strong boundaries of deservingness. You are deserving to show up as you are, and to hold that near and dear to your heart, versus meeting somebody and then changing what you need, what you desire, what you like to do to be more available to them. That isn't secure attachment. That's a loss of self, or a deep attachment to self where you don't allow togetherness. And so we call it high differentiation, when somebody is connected to who they are, but they also have togetherness. And this balance between individuality and togetherness is where healthy boundaries are really here in relationships. Where we can cultivate healthy boundaries, we have that balance. So sending love. I hope this supports you. Big hugs and kisses on your dating life, and may you call in the aligned partnership.